Hey guys, it's Xenofang here. We're back with another Division video. Today we're going to be going over the good and the bad of 1.6. This is going to be based off my personal preference and my, of course, opinion of the game. So let's go ahead and go over the good things. So first thing I have to say is the new legendary difficulty has been I've been very enjoying it. The only difficulty mission I have a really big problem with is Warren Gate, and I will be definitely covering that later on in the video. But for the most part, legendary difficulty, I am very much agreeing, and I very much enjoy that they've added this into the game. As addition to that, they've also extended a Dark Zone map up by 3 Dark Zones. I'm highly appreciative of this new change. I love map expansions, and I hope they include more in the future. I really can't wait to see if we do go to Central Park or not, because I definitely want to go explore that beautiful park up there. As addition to that, there's also the new incursion. I actually have not tried this out yet, but I very much appreciate them adding more content to the game. Last Stand, the new game mode, is very enjoyable, and I very much enjoy this as well. As addition to that, there's also all these new cosmetic items, as well as the vendor where you can purchase emotes and, of course, more cosmetic items that I'm very much appreciative of. I'm totally fine with these changes, as well as the 1-second delay between barrel rolling, as well as the hip fire changes. I'm happy about these, as well as removing armor from every single piece of gear. So that is pretty much my positive side about it. For the most part, when it comes to additional content and of course the new exotic changes, I'm very much enjoying it. There's a lot of things that have really went well in this update. But for me, the problems I'm having with the game are kind of overwhelming most of these positive features, and have kind of been bothering me more than anything. For instance, the changes to skill power, stamina, and of course shotguns becoming back in the meta has been really bothering me. Now, I don't want to be that guy that just complains about everything and doesn't give solutions. When it comes down to it, guys, when I'm talking about the shotgun meta coming back into the game, I'm not talking about the one-shot shotgun builds where you would be using the M870 Express, the pump action one, or the double barrel Cassidy shotgun. Those weapons are actually half decent. In regards, I actually kind of feel the Cassidy needs some sort of a buff because it's just so underwhelming right now. But the main problem I have right now is the semi-automatic weapons, and it is not the damage that's the issue. The issue is the stagger. When I went into Last Stand and I started playing, it was actually very consistent at the beginning until a day afterwards, where everybody started using these semi-automatic shotguns with Striker or whatever other build. It just became so much of a stagger fest with these shotguns, and it just became so consistent to see within the game. And this is based around just Xbox. I don't know how consistent this is on PC. I don't know if they do enough changes on console or test enough things on console for them to do accurate adjustments. And I feel like they need to, in the future, pay attention a little bit more to PlayStation and Xbox, in my personal opinion. But really, guys, like I said, it's not the damage with the shotguns, it's the stagger. The amount of stagger that they apply right now makes it so there's practically no counterplay against it. The only counterplay is to resort to what everybody else is using and go with the meta, and that is to spray back with another shotgun. And I do not like to see this change. I do not want to see this be a thing anymore. I want to see changes. And again, the simple and easy adjustment is not adjusting the damage, not adjusting the RPM, not adjusting the magazine size. It is changing the amount of stagger. Doing simple changes like this will improve the game significantly. And that's my main problem when it comes to that. Okay, let's get on to health and stamina. Now, let's get this straight. With the changes to armor and removing armor from the game, it has had an effect on build diversity in the sense that you want to spec into other things. But in regards to that, they've honestly just changed having to roll armor on every single piece to now rolling health on every single piece. And I think the main cause around this is the fact that speccing into stamina isn't efficient anymore. Rolling your piece of gear for health is more beneficial than having one piece of gear roll for stamina. And the reason for this is they've changed it so 1 stamina equates to 15 health, where it was originally 1 stamina equates to 30 health. Now, my easy and simple solution, now this is super simple, is to just reconvert stamina back to the way it was before, or improve it even more so, making it so stamina is even more beneficial to stack into. Changing it from one stamina is converted to 30 to maybe one stamina is converted to maybe 60 or less. I'm just putting 60 up there as a rough number. It does not have to be the set amount. It can be lower than that, but it has to be above 15 or 30. It has to be above this. And the reason for that is so they can nerf health rolls. Now, the reason why I'm saying they should nerf health rolls is just so it makes the other things in the game a little bit more interesting and maybe sought after to spec into. Right now, build diversity has become such an insignificant thing within pieces of gear, just for the fact that you're only wanting to spec into firearms or electronics and just have health roll in every single thing. There is no reason to spec into stamina at all at this point in time with this patch. And of course, the reason for that is because stamina is so insignificant and health is too much. So I've given you guys my personal opinion there. All they need to do is nerf the health rolls, making it so there's more things that you would like to spec into or more options to spec into. Alright, well, let's get on to skill power changes. Now, when I first went into the game, I thought skill power or health was completely nerfed. The reason for this is because I was running a firearms build with a pretty much a half-decent equal build. I spec'd 2 pieces of my gear into electronics, 1 piece into stamina, and 2 into firearms. Now, the reason for this is because I thought that I was going to be forced to spec into electronics so I get a half-decent heal out of it. I was completely wrong. The fact is that even speccing a little bit into electronics is not going to be even halfly beneficial. My heals weren't healing me that much. My health would just go down. I would only heal myself 1 health bar if I spec'd 2 pieces into electronics. And it would still take forever for these pieces or for my skill to come back. So in regards, I feel like for the people that aren't spec'd significantly into electronics or are not running tacticians of 40 are going to have a really hard time with being very self-sustainable. I had to resort to using a med station and throwing it on the ground to blow it up just to get the rest of my heal, just so I would fully heal myself. So, in regards to this, skill power needs to get readjusted once again. Every single update they've done has always changed skill power in some significant way or another. Now, I personally feel like there is multiple solutions for this main problem. First of all, they can make it so the less skill power you're spec'd into means that your skills become back faster. So pretty much if I have less skill power, my skills come back faster, but my heals or my skills aren't as effective. Or if I spec a lot into skill power, my heals or my skills will be super effective, making it so they're more useful to use. And of course, there's ways that you can spec. There's other ways to spec into gear to make it so skills come back faster, such as skill haste. And with again the changes that I've suggested in the past with health, you'll now have reasons to do such a thing. So that's one solution. Another solution is to make it so all healing skills have a hard cap amount of health or heals they give you, such as maybe 200,000 health per 1 heal on maybe overdose. Make it so it's only 150 on booster shot. Make it 150 for yourself with the deflib, but 200 on your teammates. Have set amounts so people don't have to sit there and be super wanting, so people aren't forced to play significantly different. Now, of course, with the changes to health, I do feel like they've made it so what is called cover-based gameplay is a little bit more effective, but with the PvP scenarios we have right now, players are not going to stay in cover. And if you guys haven't played Clear Skies, there is no cover you can be self-sustainable in at all. The reason for that is because there's too many mortars getting flung at you and too many NPCs. Okay, well, let's go on to another thing. When it comes to solo-based gameplay, there is not that many ways to gain exotics. There is a lot of team coordination gameplay within this update that will in turn give you an exotic cache, such as any of the incursions on heroic difficulty and any of the legendary missions. The only option for solo players to gain an exotic is by doing weekly sealed caches or weekly assignments to get an exotic cache. And I feel like there should be more ways for solo players to gain exotic caches so they don't end up having to be the guys at the bottom of the group. Now, as addition to that, there is also some team-based changes that I've actually significantly seen. For instance, most of the new hardest difficulty gameplay, such as heroic difficulty incursions and legendary difficulty, you need to have a medic on your team. You cannot be self-sustainable with the heals that they have right now and with the way skill power is. Now, I'm not saying they need to nerf NPCs, except for one portion, which I'll talk about here in a sec. Legendary difficulty still needs to stay as difficult as it is, but when it comes to heroic difficulty incursions, they need to readjust the scaling on NPCs. If you guys have not done Clear Skies yet, go and do it on heroic difficulty and tell me how easy that was, because it is almost impossible now to do it. I have done it the way I've been doing it since 1.5, and that is go up, grab the box, pop a blue and green at the same time, and move the box at the same time. Now, the problem is not that. It is the endless waves of NPCs and how hard it is to kill these guys and how much damage they do to players. Everybody just dies too quickly. It's extremely difficult. Falcon Lost, I had no problem with. I don't know how what is called Dragon's Nest is, but I feel like it's almost going to be the same way as Clear Skies in the sense of these little robot drone like RC cars are going to blow your ass up and you're going to die. There's just too much. There's too much. So in a sense that they need to either nerf the NPC's amount within Clear Skies in general, or maybe make it so NPCs don't do as much damage as a whole. Now, this is just for team composition. I do not know how doing Clear Skies by yourself will even be even plausible. I'll definitely try it. I've done the Clear Skies solo by myself when 1.3 was around. I have not done it since 1.4 though, so I don't know if that's even considerably plausible right now. But if it is, then ignore what I'm saying. Warring Gate, legendary difficulty. There is only one issue I have with this. The difficulty is totally fine. The NPCs are spectacular. They act like hunters. It's really cool. The timed event portion is a little bit redundant. It needs to go. It's too difficult. It's too difficult. And it's weird for me to say this because I've had no problem with going through Napalm Production Site on legendary difficulty or going through what is it called? Or going through Times Square Power Relay, but Warring Gate, I've never done such a thing. The time span has been cut almost in half, from 11 seconds or 11 minutes to now 9 minutes when you get to that timed event. And this is my only problem with this portion. They just need to remove the timed portion. Just do that and it becomes a little bit capable of doing. So on that, guys, there you go. I know that maybe the issues have become a little bit ranty in this video, but I really wanted to express my opinion on these things. Maybe some of you guys were having this same problem. Maybe you guys aren't. Now, again, this is based around a console version, console version. I don't know how the changes are or how it plays out on PC. So on that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.